Hey, real quick, what's up, y'all? In this video, I lost my audio halfway through, so I tried my hardest to get it back and replace my audio and match it up the best I could to my ability. But if it's still a little choppy or if there are parts where it's a little off, I do apologize. I will grow from it. We can get better. But if you can't, just rock with me and enjoy this banger.
See, I don't live for glamour, I don't care for fame. I'm in this for the love of the game.
Yo, man. Welcome back to another episode of For the Love of the Game. I'm here with another video. I know it's football season. I truly do understand. I know it's football season, but the NBA just let out its top 100 players from the 2020 to 2021 NBA season, all right? They just let out their top 10 players and it's all based on the previous year, okay? No external factors, nothing about their career, nothing. It's all about the year that just concluded when the Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA championship, okay? So what I'm gonna do before I tell you some of the flaws I think I see or some of the disagreements I have, I'm just gonna give you their list, okay? At number 1, they have Kevin Durant. 2, they got Giannis. 3, they got LeBron. 4, Luka. 5, Steph Curry. 6, Jokic. 7, Ben Simmons. 8, Damian Lillard. 9, Anthony Davis. And 10, James Harden. Okay. Those were in that order as well. So those were the top 10 players that ESPN felt like performed the best. So what I'm going to start off with is I'm finally happy that Kevin Durant is number 1. Okay. For the longest, I've been saying Kevin Durant's the best player in the NBA. I would take Kevin Durant over LeBron. That's preference. Whenever players are great, when there's 2 great players, to me it all comes down to preference. You know, not too much else really matters at that point because you're just gonna compare it to you blue in the face and one person, player A does one thing better than player B does things better than player A. You're never gonna get anywhere. So when it gets to that point, it's just preference. So Kevin Durant, man, coming off the year he did, him and Kyrie being there, but then they have to sit their first year both due to injury. Then they're playing already. Then they acquire James Harden, who comes along. And with that, Kevin Durant is still able to average 27 points, 7 rebounds, and about 5.5 assists. Okay, while being the catalyst of the offense, the vocal point for the defense, and one of the dudes, well, not one of the dudes, but like the guy who has to be like the quote unquote leader of the big 3 because he just left Golden State where he was a part of the big 3. So that introduced him to it. He went to Brooklyn, started his own big 3, and now he has to take control of that team and that narrative because we all know that they done had quite a few problems over there. It's no shame about it. Also, they talking about releasing Kyrie, or there's rumor. If you release Kyrie, I don't know if you could win it. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie is still that guy. I'll touch on it in another video, but Kyrie's still that guy. So I got Kevin Durant at number 1 for sure. At number 2, as crazy as it is, man, we got Giannis. You would think the 2-time MVP, now the Finals MVP, now a NBA champion himself, coming off that year, coming off being down 2-0 in the Finals, winning that in 6, so they won 4 straight. He should be number 1. But Kevin Durant also had a great year, even though he beat Kevin Durant. There ain't no asterisks in this. He beat him. So, but Giannis comes in at 2. He came in at 2 on their list. He's coming in at 2 on my list. He came in at 28 a game, which is roughly around where he's been. 11 boards, 6 assists. Okay. 28, 11, and 6, while being the most dominant player, the most dominant paint presence that we've had since Shaq. Maybe if I don't want to go back as far as Shaq, we can go prime Dwight. Okay, the best paint presence we've had since prime Dwight. And I'm interested to see this next year moving forward. How does Milwaukee play Giannis? If Giannis comes out and plays the exact way he did in the finals, which is bully ball, attacking, pedal to the metal, not really bringing the ball up so much, but catching the ball in the post already where it's easy for him to operate. In the finals, he had countless turnaround jump shots. So if he come back with a more polished post game, he adds the little turnaround jumper to his game, I'm fully convinced Giannis could be the best player in the NBA. He already can without having the things I just said. He already can be. But if he comes back next year and they're still trying to play him in that like point forward role, which is cool for him to do sometime, but other than that, he needs to get on the block because he's bigger, faster, stronger than everybody who's gonna guard him, and they don't call him the Greek Freak for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So Giannis, for sure, he's gonna come in at number 2. Number 3, LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Shout out LeBron. What year is my man in? Year 18. Year 18, and he's still coming in on top 100s at number 3. It's unheard of. Average 25 right on the dot, 7 boards, 7 assists. Really, since we like the round on this channel, he averaged 25 on the dot, 8 boards, and 8 assists in his 18th season. Went down with untimely injuries, which then resulted in them having to play in the bubble in the first place because they wouldn't have never dropped to that 7th seed had him and Anthony Davis both not got hurt. Even one of them would have kept them afloat to where they would have been above the 5th seed still. But they both went down, so the record went down. And, you try to come back, but then you play a hot, rolling Phoenix Suns team in the first round, and you don't have enough firepower to get by them. But nevertheless, LeBron James still coming in at number 3 in year 18. Yeah, I mean, what can we really say about it? Number 4. This is when we get to the part where we got to start asking questions and analyzing things. Number 4, I got Stephen Curry. I'm not sure how Luka Doncic had a better year than Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry got his team to the 8th seed to play in the play-in game. And I don't want to disrespect any other NBA players because they're NBA players at the end of the day. But he did it by himself, or he carried much of the load. However you want to word it and paraphrase it and slice it to where we're not saying that he played with bums, but that's exactly what it was. All right? He was out there, him and Draymond. Not the Draymond from 2017, this older Draymond who's a little more timid to shoot the ball, a little more timid to be aggressive. He's turned into a two-way playmaker, okay? He's completely taken himself away on the offensive end, and that's cool because it allows for Steph Curry to come out, average 32 points, 5.5 rebounds, 6 assists. His year when he won unanimous MVP, he averaged 30 points, and that was unanimous. He averaged 32 this year. Imagine if they just had Clay or just some more help around him. So he's coming in at my number 4. Not sure how Luka was above him. Luka is still on the list. We're going to get to him later. But Steph Curry doing what he did. I mean, y'all seen the pictures, man. There are pictures of like 4 dudes guarding him when he crosses half because there was no one he was playing with. So he could demand all the attention from the defense. And like I said, there's no KD. There's no Clay. So then the defense can fully just focus on stopping him. And pretty much the recipe of beating the Warriors last year, where if you stop Stephen Curry, you might win by 75. I mean, just truthfully. Number 5, right? Where most people think Luka will be coming in. He's not. James Harden is coming in, okay? James Harden averaged 24.6 points a game, almost 27 if we round, which I tend to do. But if we round, 8 rebounds and 11 assists, okay? So let me say that again. 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists, while on any given night being the first, second, or third option, right? See, my thing is that him and Luka have completely parallel stats, and they have totally different roles. Now, I know. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me get it out. Let me finish. So what I mean by that now is because James Harden now plays along 2 other superstars. Regular James Harden and regular Luka Doncic, meaning James Harden being on the Rockets, that's the same exact player. James Harden had to take a back seat when he came to Brooklyn. depending on the night, depending on who's hot, depending on the month, depending on the week, depending on whatever with that team, he might have had to take multiple back seats because Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So for him to be able to take the back seat, play point guard because he was declared the point guard. Kyrie Irving gave him the keys and said, "Hey, I'm a 2 guard, bro. I'm fine. You do what you do. Play point guard, facilitate for everybody else." And his numbers didn't slip. Right? So we look at 25, 8, and 11 for James, and we flip it right over to Luka, and Luka's at 28, 8, and 9. Okay? So we're talking about roughly the same numbers, two totally different roles. Both ball dominant, both have a signature move, the step back. Both have the step back as their signature move, but they both get it done in different ways. Both are low key, like a lot of comparisons I'm finding out right now that I'm doing this. They both move at the slower pace. Everything plays at their speed and at their pace. Luka's never phased. James Harden once had the NBA playing defense behind him, literally guarding behind. I never seen something like that. But when you look at Luka and you look at the team, does he need help? Of course he needs help. All right. Porzingis is not playing like a real second option. That's kind of throwing off what he can do and what he can provide in maybe the playoff run that they could have. But my thing is that I don't like how when a young player has success, they automatically have to be compared to some of the best people in the game who've been doing this. For instance, Luka's being compared to young LeBron. Luka was up 2-0 against the Clippers this year in the postseason. If LeBron, the chosen one, the king himself, everything they called him coming out of high school, would have been up 2-0 in a series and lost in the first round, the amount of news coverage and publicity that would have been on it and bashing LeBron, it would have been everywhere. Luka can surrender a 2-0 lead and lose that series, and we not kill him because we don't expect that much from him. So like, I just want to, basically I'm saying that to say, if we gonna compare them to some of these greats, right? If we're going to pull up LeBron's rookie year or LeBron's first couple years and Luka's first couple years, let's grade it the same way too. We're not grading it on the same metric. Because like I said, he was out in the first round. LeBron would have got hell for that if he was out in the first round. So let's grade it on the same metric. I wasn't sure how they felt like Luka had a better year than Steph or James. So Luka, for me, is going to fall at my number 6 spot. The league is so talented, you know what I'm saying? It gets crazier and crazier year by year, and it gets better and better. So coming in at number 7 for me, is Jokic. And that's the MVP, okay? So to be the MVP, to be coming off one of your best seasons, and then you still finish 7th. In my list, at least. He might have been 6th due to ESPN, but here in For the Love of the Game, he came in at number 7. Averaging 27 points a game, 11 rebounds, about 8 assists. See, the thing that puts Jokic over the top is the assist. There's not many centers who are giving you 8 assists. There are many centers who can give you 20 and 10 on a nightly basis. But can they throw in the 6 to 8 assists? No. There's only one big man. There's only one guy who is doing that. And then he's even considered to be one of the best passers in the NBA. The entire NBA. And he's one of the slowest dudes. One of the most sloppiest dudes in the NBA. But none of that matter because he got eyes in the back of his head. He moved at his own pace. And if Jamal Murray ain't go down, they had a solid chance of making a run. I'm not saying no finals, but they had a solid chance of making a run. All right. Coming in at number 8. Number 8, my man Joel. You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid, best big man in the NBA. And I just put Jokic ahead of him. I get it. I'm about to explain. All it is that it's going off the year. Jokic just won MVP. So last year he was the best big man in the NBA. But overall, I would take Joel Embiid over Nikola Jokic any day. And I find that a lot of people would. I just don't know if they realize because anytime I'm asking them, they say, I would take Joel, but he's always hurt. Or I would do whatever. But if you have to make a stance, meaning I'll take Joel, but then come back with but anything. What you're saying is that you would take Joel, but since he's hurt, you're gonna take Jokic. Jokic is not a bad option. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is a lot of people would take Joel. They just want to fall back on the injury. And injuries are part of the game. I totally get it. I'm not against it. I'm just saying that you're saying that Joel's better, but he can't play as much. So give me the guy who can play as much. And give me around the same production. It's iffy, but I would take Joel over Jokic. I mean, you look at Joel averaging 29 and 11. Jokic was averaging like 27 and 11. Joel's averaging 29 and 11. Where the fall off is like I brought up. Jokic can get you the 9 assists or the 8 assists. Joel, he averaged 3. And it's not a problem. The center's not really supposed to be the playmaker, so I don't mind it. But I'm saying that gives Jokic, that assist category, gives Jokic the nod over a lot of big man, and it puts him in a weird place. Because to win MVP and be outside of the top 5 in the NBA is strange. But that's how deep and how talented this league is. At number 9, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the most solid dude. Because I'm not in the NBA. So let me say one of the most solid dudes in the NBA, Damian Lillard. He coming in at 29 a game, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Damian Lillard playmaking really don't get enough. I'm going to say that. He is always up in the 6 assists to 8 assists range. And we'll never talk about it because we talk about how much he shoot the ball. I mean, rightfully so. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's Dame time. Capability, he's just as capable of shooting it wherever Steph can. Amazing game of horse if we could ever see it. I'm sure they might start working on the other side of the court really when they get to shooting. We've seen what happened in the All-Star game. So he can shoot it just as well as Steph. He can create his own shot. He has the side step. He has sneaky athleticism to drive to the rack and dunk it. He is top 3 point guards in the NBA. Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, in that order. And nothing's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want him to be higher or make him higher. Sometimes I always say this, but like there's so much talent to where like you could be the 3rd best in your position or the 8th best in the NBA, whatever, but you still damn good, right? It just means 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I don't even know what to say about them then, right? But that's just how talented the league is. And Dame came in number 8. Disappointing playoff loss, I must say. First round exit. And they lost against the Nuggets that didn't have Jamal Murray. Dame had that game where he had 55. He had like 12 threes. They lost. It's tough. We had the speculation about would he leave, would he stay. He said solid is in my DNA. I'm going to stay. And he'll be back in Portland for the next season. It's just that simple. And then he came in at number 9 on this list. If he wasn't in Portland, he can maybe be like number 6, truthfully. I could really say that. And then number 10, man, the last one, man, the unibrow, Mr. Anthony Davis himself. He came in at 22 and 8. Definitely a drop-off year for AD. That's why he came in at number 10. But dealing with various injuries and coming off the championship high, he won his first championship in the bubble. It was grueling. It was exhausting. They didn't have much of a break, so they had to gear right back up and reboot. They already didn't want to play. So I feel like his whole year he was never able to get on track. As soon as he was getting on track and starting to feast and really starting to eat, injury after injury. Then the latest one that sat him out, the one that sat him out in the playoffs, okay? So that's AD's big thing right now. And another reason why he came in at number 10 is we have to see if he can remain healthy. Like I said, injuries are a part of the game, okay? And it's different because AD is such a high caliber player for his team. He's the first option really on that team. Your first option can't get hurt as much as Anthony Davis does. So definitely a drop-off year offensively. Defensively, he's always there. He's always going to be there in defensive rating and in blocks per game and whatever. But offensively, you need him to be a lot more aggressive. This past season, he shot 10% more mid-range jump shots than he ever has. This was the highest. He shot like 52% of his shots were mid-range jump shots. right? And for Anthony Davis, who what the measurements say? They say 6'10", 253. In a solid frame, broad shoulders. You would like to see him play a little bit more bully ball, get a little bit more physical. Because we know he can shoot it, but you don't have to shoot it that much. Not more than half of your shots need to be coming from the midi. I think that's a problem, truthfully. So, recap, man. My top 10 of the 2020-2021 NBA season. Kevin Durant, Giannis, LeBron, Steph, James Harden, Luka, Jokic, Joel, Dame, Anthony Davis. Anybody else I left off? If you wonder about Kawhi Leonard, they're doing it based off the season. I guess he didn't make it because he won't be playing next season. Don't ask me. I didn't make the list. I just analyzed it, right? I appreciate y'all for watching. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all next time. We out.
Mogul and they know that. Logo on my flow, man.